Hello everybody, let's learn lifecycle hooks. In the previous lesson, I have mentioned about lifecycle hooks, and in this lesson we shall learn in details about these lifecycle hooks. Lifecycle hooks in Vue are special functions that allow developers to hook into different stages of a component's life. Developers to hook into different stages of a component's life. These hooks enable you to execute code at specific points in a component's life cycle, such as when the component is created, mounted to the DOM, updated, or destroyed. So, what is that? Created, mounted to the DOM, updated, or destroyed. In this tutorial, we will cover what lifecycle hooks are. Number 2, order of execution of lifecycle hooks. Number 3, how to use the most important hooks effectively. What are lifecycle hooks? In Vue, components go through various stages from initialization to destruction. Lifecycle hooks allow you to add behavior at different points during these stages. Vue provides a comprehensive set of hooks that cover component initialization, rendering, updates, and cleanup. Vue lifecycle hooks. Number 1, creation. When the component is initialized, before create, called after the component instance is initialized, but before any data or event listeners are set up. So, called after the component instance is initialized, but before any data or event listeners are set up. Created. Called after the component instance is created and reactive data and methods are available, but before the component is mounted to the DOM. So, creation when initialized, those are called. Mounting, when the component is inserted into the DOM. Mounting. Before mount, called right before the component is mounted, that is rendered to the DOM. Mounted, called after the component is mounted to the DOM. This is where you can access the DOM and manipulate it. So, mounting has these two hooks. Updating, when reactive data changes and the DOM needs to be re-rendered. This is updating. Before update and update. Before update, called before the DOM re-renders due to reactive data changes. So, before update is called before the DOM re-renders due to reactive data changes. Some data is changes. Before that change, it is called. Updated is called after the DOM is re-rendered. After the DOM is re-rendered, it is called updated. Unmounting. When the component is removed from the DOM. Before unmount and unmounted. Before unmount, called right before a component is destroyed and removed from the DOM. Unmounted, called after the component is removed from the DOM. This is where you perform cleanup such as removing event listeners. This is unmounted. Step 1. Setting up a Vue project. If you don't already have a Vue project, create one using Vite. npm create Vite at latest Vue lifecycle demo. Now cd to that folder, cd Vue lifecycle demo, npm install, then npm run dev. Step 2. Basic component with lifecycle hooks. Let's create a simple component that logs messages in the console at different stages of its life cycle. App.vue template div h1 Vue lifecycle hooks example. H1 is closed. Now button at click is equal to toggle component. This is a method, I think. Now a toggle component. This is caption of the button. Now the button is closed. Comment. Conditionally render the component to demonstrate unmounting. Test component if show component. So test component is called when it is show component value is true. So when it is false, so it will demonstrate unmounting, so it will destroy. Now div is closed, template tag is closed. Now script import test component from dot slash components slash test component dot view. Export default, then within curly braces data function which returns show component true. This is reactive data. Show component is true. So here test component will be shown at initialization because it is true. This show component is true. Now data function is closed. Methods option. Within methods, toggle component function, toggle component method. This dot show component is equal to not this dot show component. So if it is true, then it will become false, show component. If it is false, it will become true. Methods is closed. Next, components, test component, because we included it here, imported it here. Script tag is closed. Now style tag, button within second bracket, margin 20 pixel, padding 10 pixel, background color string, color white, border none, cursor pointer. Now button : hover. then within curly braces, background color, color string. Now style tag is closed. Next, step 3, creating a component with lifecycle hooks. Next, let's create a test component.vue where we will add lifecycle hooks to observe the different stages of the component's lifecycle. Test component.vue, template tag, then div tag, then h2, test component, then h2 is closed. Now p tag, check the console to see lifecycle hook logs. P tag is closed, div tag is closed, and finally template tag is also closed. Now script, export default within second bracket, name test component. Here are the lifecycle hooks. Before create, console.log within bracket, then within quotes, before create colon component instance is being initialized. Created. Now within second bracket, console.log within bracket, then within quotation, within quotes, created colon component instance has been created. Data is reactive. Now before mount, console.log before mount colon component is about to mount to the DOM. Mounted. Console.log mounted colon component has been mounted to the DOM. Before update, then bracket open and close, and within the second bracket, console.log before update colon component data has changed, about to re-render, updated, console.log within bracket, within quotes, updated colon component has re-rendered. Before mount, console.log before mount colon component is about to destroyed. Now unmounted within curly braces, console.log unmounted colon component has been destroyed and removed from the DOM. Finally, script tag is closed. Next, step 4, running and testing the application. Start your development server using npm run dev. Open the browser and go to http://localhost:5173. As I told you before, this is the default port number for Vite. You should see a button to toggle the test component and a message saying check the console to see lifecycle hook logs. What you will observe when the page load, you will see the following lifecycle hooks executed in this order. Before create, component instance is being initialized. Created, the component instance has been created and data is reactive. Before mount, the component is about to be mounted to the DOM. Mounted, the component has been mounted to the DOM. Number 2, you click the button to toggle the test component. The component will be removed from the DOM and you will see before unmount. The component is about to be destroyed. Unmounted. The component has been destroyed and removed from the DOM. Number 3, if you toggle the component back on, the creation and mounting hooks will run again. So if we toggle back the component back, the creation and mounting hooks will run again. Next, understanding the lifecycle hooks in detail. Before create hook is called immediately after the component instance is initiated. At this point, no reactive data, computed properties or methods are available yet. You cannot access the component instance, to modify any reactive data here before create. You cannot access this keyword, the component instance before create. Console.log before create, component instance is being initialized. Created. Before update hook is triggered before the DOM is updated due to reactive data changes. These can be useful for inspecting the new and old data values before they are applied to the DOM. Before update, console.log. Before update, component data has changed, about to re-render, that is before update. Now updated. The updated hook is called after the DOM has been updated with the new data. DOM being new data. These can be used to perform any actions that depend on the DOM being fully updated. So these can be used to perform any actions that depend on the DOM being fully updated. Updated, then console.log updated component as re-rendered. Before unmount hook is called right before the component is destroyed and removed from the DOM. This is the last opportunity to perform cleanup, like removing event listeners or cancelling network requests, etc. Before unmount within curly braces, console.log within quotes, before unmount component is about to be destroyed. Unmounted. The unmounted hook is called after the component has been removed from the DOM. After the component has been removed from the DOM, when there is not that component in the DOM. This is where you would finalize any cleanup tasks. Unmounted console.log within bracket within quotes, unmounted component has been destroyed and removed from the DOM. Step 6. Using lifecycle in real world scenarios. Created fetch initial data for a component. Here are some common use. Fetch within bracket https://api.example.com/data, then response arrow response.json, then after that data, these dot items is equal to data. This is how created. This is fetch to initial data for a component. Now mounted. Access the DOM to initialize third-party libraries. Mounted const element is equal to this $reps.myElement. Initialize a third-party library on the element. Here $reps myElement, then initialize the library element. Here it gets that element. Before unmount, clean up event listeners or subscriptions. Before unmount, window.remove event listeners resize, comma this dot handle resize. In this way, one listener is removed. Conclusion. Lifecycle hooks in Vue are a powerful feature that allow you to tap into different stages of a component's lifecycle. Understanding when and how to use these hooks can help you manage your components more effectively, ensuring proper setup, updates, and cleanup. In this tutorial, we have seen how to use the key lifecycle hooks to observe component behavior, perform data fetching, and manage DOM interactions. With this knowledge, you can now build more robust and optimized Vue applications. That's all for now. Thank you.